Dystopian texts provide rich opportunities that illuminate the dehumanization of the collective and individual human experience, which reflect the contextual concerns from the time in which it was written. The collective and individual experience in dystopian text 1984 is the representation of oppressive totalitarian regimes which was sparked by Orwell's own individual experience of corrupt political control. George Orwell uses 1984 to represent a totalitarian society and the repercussion that follows. Orwell was an Indian-born British writer known for his social criticism and advocacy for democratic socialism. Similarly, Ridley Scott's Blade Runner 1982 explores the mass control of megacorporations have on the world of Blade Runner and the dehumanization of the replicants under the working order of the Tyrell Corporation. Texts that explore the dehumanization of the individual and collective human experience convey a warning for our society through the world of the text. This is the case in 1984. 1984 exhibits the dehumanization of the individual and collective human experience through the surveillance and propaganda of INGSOC. The citizens of Oceania are expected to worship Big Brother and maintain an unconditional loyalty to his regime, even if this involves betraying their family and closest friends. The world has been constructed by the party to deprive the individual of any happiness or individuality, as they are solely devoted to Big Brother and INSOC. To ensure people stay loyal to the party, INSOC monitors everyone with telescreens in every room to spy and keep an eye on all residents. The telescreen received and transmitted simultaneously. The use of scientific language and plosives intensifies the atmosphere of panoptical surveillance and total control. It is unknown whether someone is always paying close attention to every single person's activities at every given moment, but the possibility always exists, and so every citizen must act according to Big Brother's rules. The posters plastered all around Oceania state, "Big Brother is watching you." The phrase uses capitalization to reinforce the representation of the collective human experience of Oceania as one of constant surveillance and suppression, where people live with fear, anxiety, and paranoia. The party's slogan states, "War is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength." The use of irony is present and transforms into a paradoxal statement. It demonstrates the corrupt action of governments that state they are good, but create war and slavery for the benefit of themselves and not their people. The use of oppressive surveillance and aggressive propaganda showcases Orwell's views on the collective human experience within a totalitarian society, influenced by his experiences as an imperial officer in Burma, voluntarily living in slums in England, and witnessing the horrendous acts committed by fascist regimes during the Spanish Civil War. It shaped his depiction of totalitarian regimes, the manipulative force to act a certain way due to the unknown chances of being watched and threatened with the constant reminder of it. Orwell captures an atmosphere of uncertainty and paranoia that clouded all nations collectively during World War II and writes it within 1984. Therefore, 1984 illustrates the dehumanization of the collective human experience through harsh surveillance and aggressive propaganda within a totalitarian society. This expresses the connection to the fear and paranoia Orwell experienced and observed during World War II to our world. Texts that explore an individual's fight to maintain humanity conveys what it means to be human. Winston's individual experience is an illustration of his fight to maintain his humanity in the oppressive totalitarian society of Big Brother. The overpowering forces of Big Brother makes Julia and Winston unsuccessful at sustaining their humanity. While Winston waits for Julia on the first floor of Mr. Charrington's shop, in a room without a telescreen, he thought to himself, "Folly, folly, folly." The use of fricative alliteration and repetition exhibit his individual experience with anxiety and fear of being caught by the unforgiving government he is suppressed under. Winston knows what he is doing is a crime against the party, yet all he does is think anxiously to himself rather than actively stop. This shows his internal struggle of wanting to live for himself rather than for the party, but his fear is evident as he knows he will eventually be caught. Sitting at the edge of the bed, Winston himself thought it was as though they were intentionally stepping nearer to their graves. The visual imagery empowers this metaphor as it causes the reader to view the two characters edging closer to their preventable deaths. Orwell constructs this as a warning to the reader about the dangers of totalitarian worlds and how wanting the bare minimum of a human right may result in death. Orwell also explores the paradoxes in human behavior as Winston and Julia both betray one another despite being in love. When Winston is being tortured, he thinks of one person who could replace him. He shouts frantically, "Do it to Julia! Do it to Julia!" The repetition of his frantic shouting reveals the inconsistencies in human behavior that result from the overpowering concern of self-preservation. Therefore, due to the totalitarian environment that encases these individuals in 1984, the dehumanization of the individual leads to a loss and struggle to maintain humanity, which ultimately showcases what it means to be human. Dystopian texts explore the loss of human experience and values of life due to the totalitarian nature of their environment and warns our society of such a nature. Blade Runner is a dystopian film created by Ridley Scott and was released in 1982. Blade Runner is set in a dystopian 2019 in Los Angeles, a world of replicants, advanced technology, and space colonies. It highlights the loss of value in life and impacts the human experience and results in the dehumanization of replicants. It reflects the rampant capitalism of the 1980s as megacorporations and capitalist companies reign in power. Replicants are created superior to humans, but are to be enslaved to mankind from the moment they are created. This immediately removes the value of life and dehumanizes their existence. When Roy faces the creator, Tyrell, who is the creator of the Tyrell corporations, he wants to increase his lifespan as it is only 4 years. Tyrell responds, "The light that burns twice as bright burns half as long." This metaphor conveys that the replicants have the gift of superiority over humans, but cannot live long enough to experience or understand it. This showcases the control the Tyrell Corporation has over millions of individual replicants who all share the same fate, to be created, enslaved, and die. This exhibits the loss of value in life and confiscation of human experience because Tyrell is creating life without value, only for convenience, slavery, and curiosity. The Tyrell Corporation's motto is "more human than human," but is a paradox as the replicants are treated less than human and are treated as objects of slavery. They are rejected human experience even as they are more superior to humans. Therefore, Blade Runner reflects the loss of value in life and loss of human experience due to the totalitarian and dehumanizing nature replicants face under Tyrell Corporation's reign of power. It holds a warning to our society about the dangers of corruption within megacorporations and how it can turn into an oppressive totalitarian environment. Dystopian texts provide rich opportunities that highlight the dehumanization of the collective and individual human experience, which connects contextual concerns from the time in which it was created. 1984 explores the dehumanization of the collective and the individual human experience by conveying a warning for our society through the use of oppressive surveillance and manipulated propaganda inspired by Orwell's experiences during World War II, as he writes about a world that manipulates and spies on their people to maintain control by maintaining a fearful and paranoid population. What it means to be human through the struggle to maintain one's humanity is also shown. The totalitarian environment in 1984 dehumanized the individual, showcased through Winston and Julia's struggle to maintain their relationship. Comparably, Blade Runner illuminates loss of human experience and values of life due to the totalitarian control of the Tyrell Corporation. It warns of a future where mega capitalists rule, creating beings that are superior in every way only to be oppressed, enslaved, and die.